Guys, so I wanted to talk about how a workday is literally scheduled to make you not have time to make your own food, not have time to go to the grocery store, not have time to look for a new house, not have time to look for a new job, not have time to see about your children or pets, and not have time to schedule a doctor, not have time to schedule any health appointments ever because you have to work like 70 hours a week or you have to work 9 to 5 p.m. and these places close early. And I consider early being literally like 4 p.m. And then if it's a Sunday or a Saturday, they close even earlier or they just don't open at all, especially with dentists. Like, they schedule their own hours and times and it's always in the morning, and they're like, yeah, I'm booked out for all these times. You have to wait a month unless you want to see me. You have to wait 2 months. We have a long waiting list. Like, therapists do the same thing. Just different people with different positions. It's just hard to find help immediately, especially one that works with your schedule, especially if you have to make time to sleep and then you have to make time to clean up your house and stay organized. That's why a lot of poor people, they end up just throwing things to the ground and not being able to clean up their home. Like, yeah, I work as a cleaner for rich people, but I cannot even keep my own house clean because I'm so busy working. And that is an actual problem, but it's a problem by design. Like, rich people, the rich and powerful people, the ones in charge, they really don't want nobody having free time to themselves. And they just keep finding every way at any point to just block people from having fun and having free time. Unless, that's what I wanted to get into, unless you're a certain type of person, which is the type of person they like. Because there are levels like police officers, military, and then people who don't have disabilities. If you're able-bodied, if you're like, we know we have different classes and systems, and some people are at the top, some people are at the bottom. If you went to college, if you work in insurance, if you work in real estate, landlords, managers, bosses, people who are supervisors, they tend to have more trust that the system is working. Just anyone who really believes, oh, I'll be rich one day, the system is definitely working for me, everything's good if I do ABC. Because those are the people who I am not in community with. Those are the people who I don't think are that good of people. But I understand why they do what they do. And so back to it, we have people who, they want to be landlords. They want to buy a home, they want to inherit a home and then rent it out on Airbnb. Or they just want to buy land, not use it, and then make sure nobody else can get on the property. They will buy up a lot of food, clothing, say, oh, nobody else will get it unless I sell it to them and they give me money in exchange. They will have all these skills and then they will put up a barrier to poor people, and that barrier will be money. And overall, I don't think that's good for society because, as I told you, a lot of people make less than $30,000 a year, and that's why on the internet it's hard for you to even promote yourself and get a following, because most people are too busy working than to look for somebody new. And then it used to be, oh, yeah, you can be small and you can blow up. But now they really put in a lock on that, like YouTube has been, Twitter, Instagram, all of those places, all of them have been very much gatekeeping, like who can blow up and who can't. And it's based off of how clean your background is, what quality of camera you have. Did you invest like $15 into paying a worker in the Philippines to edit your videos? Because that's what YouTubers do. They don't edit their own videos, and then they will pay for like a $50,000 camera, equipment, setup, fancy microphone, and then they get promoted a lot more and they have more opportunities to gain followers. But again, that comes with them already having rich parents. And if you look at a lot of YouTubers, they are not poor people. You'll see that they actually did have a leg up over everybody else. And then you'll see that what they say, even if they talk about poverty, racism, they do it to make money. They don't actually bring about change. It's just gathering their followers up to say, oh, this is bad, but yeah, bad, bad, bad. Let's see more about bad, bad, bad stuff. And I just think, yeah, I don't think there's a lot of work that can be done to change the system, but you can work within yourself in the sense, like, keep your mind open to different possibilities, to how the world can work. Like, remember, everything is just taught and you can unlearn it. And even though, like, I still have to pay taxes, I still have to get my credit cards, my debit cards tracked, I still have student loans, I'm still very much like in the system with, they know my name, they know my address, all of that. Odds are they see me on these cameras, but I still am never gonna put into my head like, oh, well, you're poor because you make the wrong choices in life and you deserve it. Like, I will never put that into my head, and even if I do, I'm gonna take it out, or I'm gonna like see other people and I'm not gonna start blaming them for being the way they are, because I'm still gonna have an understanding that the system is like this by design. I'm not gonna say, oh, the way out is to become a landlord. Oh, the way out is to become a computer programmer. Oh, your way out is to join the military. I'm not gonna encourage that for people, because I know that I don't think that there's a way really out of poverty like people want to say it is. And those people who already have money, their family's been having money for like years and years. It's not just, oh, well, I grew up and then I did it all on my own. No, your family helped you out. And if it wasn't your family, it was you being able-bodied. It was your ability to mental capability, your ability to get in the right spaces, know the right people. Like, there's a lot of reasons why someone is well off and middle class. And it's a big one is the fact that they worship and believe in the government and the system, and that it works for them, and therefore the government will reward them and help you tear down and lead to the destruction of more poor people. Because literally, when I worked my job, for example, I didn't even afford lunch, y'all. Like, I have to pay to get to work. Even at school, I had to pay to get on the bus, and I could barely even afford that. I couldn't really afford food, and it was the same thing. Like, starving yourself every day, getting up, being up for 8 hours, having to stand up in one place, sit in one place, still focus on the lesson, still figure out how to make that test, figure out, okay, now I'm on this job, memorize this, that, and the third, knowing how to deal with customers even though they didn't train me, even though technically I'm not in a good mind state, physical state to even be working, but I'm still going to do it because of the money that I'll get. And then that money is still taken away because the government needs their taxes. And even the money isn't good because my job doesn't give me as many hours as I would need, but they still expect me to keep on working there, even though I still don't have enough pay. And it's like, I'm poor, that's why I'm coming to the job. And that's why I'm accepting a little wage of like $11 when really it's like $10, because again, taxes gets taken out. And then there are people who make $1,000 an hour, $60 an hour, and more. Plus they get benefits. And that's the other thing. A job can give you housing, they can give you free food. A job can give you health care, health insurance, and all of this is if you have an employer. And it's the same as slavery. Like, it's literally the same. Like, you have to get a house, but you have to show, well, I've been with my employer for this long and this is my consistent income. It used to be, oh, I have a slave master, I was born here, boom, now I have my housing. Now it's like, okay, I am choosing to be a wage earner working for money to survive. And anyways, wage slavery, chattel slavery, same thing. And I wanted to say that Yeah, don't let the system trick you into thinking that it works, because it's not working. It's not working for a lot of people. And there's a lot of people who feel like, oh, if I do ABCD, I'm gonna be up and I'm gonna be good. And I'm sure they are. I'm sure they will be in their heads. But it doesn't change the fact that there is a bottom class of people who have to work and lift you up. And you'll see that a lot of people are disappearing. Like, a lot of people are not using the internet. A lot of people aren't looking for anything new. We have people who control the media, who control what you see and what you can eat, and really what stores you can even go to. Like, I didn't build these streets, these roads. I wasn't consulted. Nobody in my family was consulted. It's just some little powerful people at the top. And I don't really, I don't think that's fair. And I think it's easy to just ignore it and be like, okay, I'm gonna get mines and I'm gonna live for me and do good. Because there are people like that, you know. There are people who live great and they don't think about life. They don't think about why are poor people poor. They just say, okay, it's because of something they did. It's because they're stupid. It's because of this, that, and the third. And then walk on. And they're happy with that explanation. Nobody wants to say it's a problem with the system. Nobody wants to say, oh, well, yeah, the government is wrong. Oh, no, that's not how it's supposed to work, but it did happen. But this is rare. This is a rare occurrence, yeah. So, yeah, I want to say I'm tired of it. I'm tired of acting like everything's fine and acting like, oh, I'm going to be up and up and I'm going to be doing good. And it's like, for me, I don't find this lifestyle good. I find a lot of people to be exhausted. I find a lot of people to be angry for no reason. I find a lot of people to be stressed out and disappointed. And they feel like, oh, I'm a failure. They feel like, oh, I'm not accepted for who I am. And there's a lot of issues of the day. A lot of people can't even see a doctor, yet some people can. And they are like, yay, we get to be on this planet, and yay, I get things, but other people don't. But I'm not going to think about them. I'm only going to think about me. All I got to think about is my husband and my kids, and everybody else can go fuck themselves. They can go screw themselves. They can fall off a cliff for all I care. Like, that's really how I feel. And people are like, well, I actually help some people. And it's like, you help them by making them pay you money to have housing or to have some type of life-saving care. Because I don't care what you sell, like, these things enrich people's lives and give value. They do. But you put a price tag on it and block out poor people, and then you say you help someone when you just contribute to the same system that doesn't help anyone. That's how I feel. But yeah, bye guys.